In May 2011, a 12-year-old boy from Idaho made a decision that would change his life forever. His grandmother had given him $1,000 as a gift. Most kids would have spent it on video games or toys. Erik Finman bought Bitcoin. At the time, Bitcoin was trading at around $12 per coin. It was a digital currency that almost nobody had heard of. Most people who knew about it associated it with dark web drug markets or dismissed it as a fad. Erik bought approximately 103 Bitcoins. And then he did something even more remarkable. He held them. For 6 years, through crashes and volatility and people telling him he was crazy, Erik held. By 2017, when Bitcoin hit nearly $20,000, Erik was worth over $2 million. He was 18 years old. This is the story of conviction, patience, and why sometimes the best investment strategy is doing nothing at all. Erik Finman grew up in Idaho in a family he once described as the Elon Musk version of the Kardashians. His older brother Scott went to Johns Hopkins University at age 16 and later started a software company. His other brother Ross studied robotics at Carnegie Mellon and went on to pursue a PhD at MIT. Erik was the youngest. And unlike his brothers, he hated school. He struggled with traditional education. Teachers told him he wasn't smart enough. One teacher even told him he should drop out and work at McDonald's. That's because that was all he would ever amount to. Those words could have destroyed him. Instead, they fueled him. In early 2011, Erik's brother Scott introduced him to Bitcoin by sending him 0.2 Bitcoins. At the time, Bitcoin was just 2 years old. Created by the mysterious Satoshi Nakamoto, it was a peer-to-peer digital currency that existed outside traditional banking systems. Erik was fascinated. He and his brother were political. They saw Bitcoin as a way to transcend the financial system, including Wall Street. They recognized the political implications of a technology that could bypass governments and banks. For a 12-year-old, this was revolutionary thinking. When Erik's grandmother gave him $1,000 in May 2011, he knew exactly what to do. While other kids his age were buying the latest iPhone or saving for college, Erik converted every dollar into Bitcoin. At $12 per coin, he bought about 83 to 103 Bitcoins depending on timing and fees. His parents thought he was insane. His teachers would have called it reckless. But Erik believed Bitcoin was the future, and he made a bet with his parents. If he became a millionaire before turning 18, he wouldn't have to go to college. His Stanford-educated parents, both with PhDs, agreed. They probably thought there was no chance their rebellious 12-year-old would beat their advanced degrees. For the next 2 years, Erik watched his investment grow. Bitcoin was volatile. It would surge to $200, then crash to $100, up to $1,000, then back to $600. Most investors would have panicked and sold. But Erik understood something that most adults don't. Short-term volatility doesn't matter if you believe in long-term value. He wasn't day trading. He wasn't checking prices every hour. He was holding. In late 2013, when Bitcoin hit around $1,200, Erik made his first major decision. He sold his Bitcoins and converted his original $1,000 investment into $100,000. At 15 years old, Erik had turned his grandmother's gift into a 6-figure fortune. But Erik didn't cash out and retire. He used the money to start a company called Botangle. It was an online education platform where students could connect with teachers through video chat. Erik had been so frustrated with traditional schooling that he wanted to create an alternative. Botangle was his answer to a broken education system. He officially dropped out of high school at 15 and moved to San Francisco to run his startup. No GED, no diploma, just conviction and $100,000 in funding. His parents honored the bet. If he could prove himself, he didn't need their path. And Erik was determined to prove everyone wrong. In 2015, something pivotal happened. An investor approached Erik with an offer to buy Botangle. The investor gave him two options: $100,000 in cash or 300 bitcoins. At the time, Bitcoin was trading around $200 per coin. So 300 bitcoins equaled $60,000. The cash offer was worth nearly twice as much. Most people would have taken the cash. Erik took the Bitcoin. He explained later that he believed Bitcoin was the future and that this was a chance to get back into the market at a discount. This decision would prove to be worth millions. From 2015 to 2017, Bitcoin exploded. By June 2017, Erik owned 403 Bitcoins worth over $1.1 million. He had won the bet with his parents. He was a millionaire at 18, but he didn't stop there. As Bitcoin continued surging toward $20,000 in December 2017, Erik's holdings were worth over $8 million. From a $1,000 investment in 2011 to over $8 million by age 18. The teacher who told him to work at McDonald's had been spectacularly wrong. Erik had become one of the youngest self-made millionaires in history. And he did it by betting on technology that almost everyone else dismissed. Erik's story teaches us several critical lessons. First, early conviction beats late speculation. Erik bought Bitcoin when it was $12 and nobody believed in it. He didn't buy because it was trending on social media or because influencers were promoting it. He bought because he understood the technology and believed in its potential. That kind of conviction is rare. And it's what separates investors from gamblers. Second, patience is more valuable than activity. Erik held for 6 years. He didn't panic sell during crashes. He didn't chase other trends. He just held. The financial industry wants you to trade constantly because they make money on fees and commissions. But Erik's strategy was the opposite. Do nothing. Let time and compounding work. It's boring. It's hard, but it works. Third, ignore the critics. Teachers told Erik he would fail. Experts said Bitcoin was worthless. People mocked him for dropping out. Erik ignored all of them. He trusted his own analysis and his own conviction. In investing and in life, the crowd is usually wrong. The people who make life-changing wealth are the ones who see what others do and have the courage to act on it. And fourth, long-term holding beats hype trading. Erik didn't day trade. He didn't try to time the market. He bought and held. That simple strategy outperformed 99% of professional traders. Most people lose money in crypto because they chase pumps and panic sell dumps. Erik did the opposite. He bought low, held through volatility, and only sold when he needed capital for other projects. Today, Erik Finman is in his mid-20s. He's expanded beyond Bitcoin into various startups, technology projects, and even launched a satellite. He's become an advocate for alternative education and financial literacy for young people. His story has been covered by CNBC, Forbes, and media outlets around the world. He's proof that age doesn't determine capability. That formal education isn't the only path to success. And that sometimes a 12-year-old with conviction can see the future more clearly than experts with PhDs. Erik's grandmother probably had no idea that her $1,000 gift would turn into millions. She certainly didn't know she was funding one of the most successful cryptocurrency investments in history. But she gave her grandson something more valuable than money. She gave him the freedom to take a risk, the opportunity to bet on himself. And Erik didn't waste it. His story isn't just about Bitcoin. It's about courage, about ignoring conventional wisdom, about holding through fear and doubt, and about proving that sometimes the best investment isn't finding the next hot trade. It's finding one great opportunity and having the discipline to hold it. If you're watching this and thinking you missed Bitcoin, remember this. Erik didn't get rich because he was lucky. He got rich because he had conviction when nobody else did. He saw value when experts saw nothing. And he held when everyone else panic sold. That same strategy works in any market, any asset, any time. Find something you truly believe in. Ignore the noise and hold. Because as Erik Finman proved, sometimes the 12-year-old with patience and conviction beats the entire financial establishment. And that's a lesson worth more than any Bitcoin.